What's going on, kitsunes? Today I'm reacting to a video from Mujin on Inside the LA Wildfires Catastrophic Mismanagement. Yikes. Please stay safe, everyone.
Tens of thousands of structures destroyed as hundreds of thousands of people are evacuated. A health emergency declared due to all the smoke in the air. Police deployed to burnt areas because of looters. Tap water isn't even safe to drink or cook with. And a fire tornado straight from the gates of hell itself, with winds reaching over 85 miles per hour. Not only is this a natural disaster, but we're also witnessing one of the biggest logistical disasters in history. Historians are going to write about this, but before they do, we're going to talk about it in this video, starting with this map. These are all the structures and buildings destroyed because of this fire so far, and we're only getting started. Look at the amount of destruction here. This is insane. Massive communities wiped off the face of the earth. Now this map right here is for evacuations, okay? Look at this massive area. Whatever is in orange is already burning. Whatever's in red is an evacuation order. If you live in these areas, you are obligated to leave immediately. And whatever's in yellow is an evacuation warning, okay? You have to be on standby and you can receive a message at any moment telling you to leave. The fires are so deep in the city that they're so close to Santa Monica itself. But I want you to imagine something. Imagine that you are a Los Angeles resident living in these yellow areas. You receive a message on your phone, an emergency alert with a loud sound saying new. This is an emergency message from the Los Angeles County Fire Department. An evacuation warning has been issued in your area. Remain vigilant of any threats and be ready to evacuate. Gather loved ones, pets, and supplies. Continue to monitor local weather, news, and the webpage Alerta for more information. Now, this message was made to be sent to people in the yellow areas when their areas turn red. But in this case, millions of Los Angeles residents received these messages on their phones, some not even close to the fires. How would you feel seeing a message like this when you have an elderly parent or children?
Mujin uploaded this video a couple of days ago. But if you search for information about the fires in LA, you'll see that they are still spreading and haven't been contained. Here, I'll use Garden Grove as an example and look at the map.
A few minutes later.
And you expand the map. As you can see, two fires are burning, Palisades and Eaton. The wind is spreading them so that more fires will occur in other areas. I hope people evacuate as soon as they can.
A few minutes later.
It's all good. It's okay. Because they received a message around 20 minutes later saying, oops, sorry, disregard last evacuation. It was for Kenneth Fire only. So the fire that's very far around here, close to Agora Hills and Calabasas. You think to yourself, okay, fine, listen, this made me panic like crazy, but hey, this was one mistake. I'm sure it won't happen again. Well, guess what? You go to sleep and at 4 a.m., you're woken up because of a very loud sound on your phone. It's another emergency alert saying the same exact thing. Guess what? This one was also sent to millions of people, and it was also a false alarm. This sparked massive panic, all right? And now people don't even trust these messages anymore. Authorities are worried that if they send an evacuation message to people, they're going to disregard it. And why wouldn't they? How could this happen in a country that calls itself a first world country in a state like California? Have we learned nothing from 2018? Hawaiians back then had to deal with a message like this sent to their phone saying a ballistic missile threat is inbound to Hawaii. Seek immediate shelter. This is not a drill. This turned out to be false, of course, but it was tragic. Families were called.
There was a fire too. I forgot when. Maybe somewhere, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's somewhere... Shit. 4 years ago or 3 years ago?
Calling each other saying goodbye. But it was unfortunately only the tip of the iceberg. This led to the famous copypasta of someone having intercourse with their biological sister because they thought they were going to die anyway, so why not, okay?
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
We cannot have more incidents like these happen. And this is one of many logistical failures that have occurred in Los Angeles only in the last few days. Look, I lived in Los Angeles for a few years of my life, and I can tell you right now, wildfires are a yearly occurrence. Initially, the red skies and the smoky air is going to shock you, but by the second year you live there, you'll understand this is something that happens all the time. But why does it happen? Well, the phenomenon is called whiplash, where you have extremely wet weather at one time and then extremely dry weather at the other with no in-betweens. Los Angeles weather always fluctuates between two extremes, and it typically has very dry winters like right now, which means that all the moisture...
So there's barely rain, which is why it's called a whiplash.
...from grass and any vegetation is completely gone in the mountains, and it's all going to act like fuel at the slightest little spark that lights up for whatever reason. When you combine this with such insane winds that can spread embers miles...
I just had to say that this video right here, I'm curious, but the person who recorded and uploaded the video online was putting themselves at risk. This was dangerous, but I'm glad that this person is okay.
Miles away, this is how you get a ridiculous amount of fire spreading way too quickly. Not to mention that this wind can knock down a UFC fighter if it wanted to. Even if you had the equipment, you can't even make it to where the fire is because the wind would stop you. Because fires are a yearly occurrence in Los Angeles, one could say that it's like earthquakes in Japan. Earthquakes in Japan happen often, which is why they've converted all their infrastructure to be made specifically to resist them as much as possible. But this begs the question that everyone's asking. How is it that fire hydrants in Los Angeles, a city that gets wildfires all the time, ran out of water immediately? Firefighters would show up to the scene, use water a little bit, and then all of a sudden realize, wait, this is already out of water, we have to leave immediately. Well, it turns out that there was a water reservoir in the Palisades, the biggest fire going on right now, right? That had a capacity of 117 million gallons that was empty. And it didn't get empty recently, it's been empty for an entire year, making...
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Every city that you live should have a reservoir. And reservoirs should have waters, right? They should have waters ready to go in case of fires. But now that I'm seeing this, I guess people are not prepared nowadays. They think that, oh, we don't need water now. Everything's going to be fine. Look what's happening today.
Making residents furious. This isn't just a water capacity issue, right? The less water you have, the less water pressure you have as well. And when the winds are so crazy, you need very good water pressure to be able to counter the extremely strong fires. This was a water capacity and a water pressure logistical disaster. And many are wondering, how could this happen? This is the most taxed state in the United States after all. If you live in California, you pay as much taxes as I do in France, but here at least I get free healthcare. Like, what's going on? Well, the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, posted this on his Twitter account, saying that he's calling for an independent investigation into the loss of water pressure to local fire hydrants and the reported unavailability of water supplies from the Santa Ynez Reservoir. We need answers to ensure this does not happen again, and we have every resource available to fight these catastrophic fires. But to many, this does not...
Huh? I'm sorry. He's doing an investigation when there's a fire going on?
Are you fucking dumb?
Well, we're doomed. So much for the governor of California.
We're doomed! Doomed, I tell ya!
Before watching this video, I was watching Decoy Voices videos about the LA fire situations. And you know the mayor of LA, Karen Bass? When there's a situation going on, any situation, crimes or earthquakes or fires, where did she go? She ran away. And it's kind of ironic because the former mayor of Oakland, what was her name? Shane Tao. I don't know if I pronounced her name correctly. I apologize. But where did she go when crimes happen? Where did she go? She also ran away Now that I see this, it makes sense. Gavin would instead save the fish, then send water to Southern California to fight the wildfires.
Does not happen again, and we have every resource available to fight these catastrophic fires. But to many, this just sounds like Mr. Beast investigating himself. This shouldn't have happened to begin with. An investigation shouldn't have happened to begin with. But it did, and it severely impacted what firefighters could even do, because without water, they can't do anything. They're just human beings at the end of the day. This
Yeah, we're just human beings. Yeah, sure, we're just human beings. Let's just say this as an example, or you can use your imagination. If you're the president, a governor, or a mayor, you should be responsible for the well-being of the people and always be prepared in situations like this. But for some people, all they care about is money and status. Yeah, might as well just buy more hair gel for your hair. Nowadays, these people, these politicians are corrupted.
firefighters could even do, because without water, they can't do anything. They're just human beings at the end of the day. This prompted other countries to step in to help, like Mexico and Canada.
Mexico and Canada, yes.
More specifically, the province of Quebec, sending their super scooper plane carrying a lot of water, dumping it on the...
Also, I understand why people are blaming I almost say Biden, which is a mistake. Well, are they also blaming Biden? I don't know if that is it, but correct me if I'm wrong. But I understand why they're blaming Gavin and Karen for not preparing this kind of situation ahead. Shouldn't we be blaming the arsonists or the people that also start the fires as well? Because let's be for real, there are homeless people out there. People without homes and illegal immigrants start fires due to the cold nights. And sometimes people just want to start fires just to make things worse. Seriously, get help.
Stop it. Get some help.
The pilot flying this plane volunteering, almost dumping it on the fire province of Quebec, prompted other countries to step in to help, like Mexico and Canada. More specifically, the province of Quebec, sending their super scooper plane carrying a lot of water, dumping it on the fires. But here's the thing. The pilot flying this plane volunteering almost lost his life because some idiot was flying his drone.
Are you fucking dumb?
Shame on them. Jeez.
Over the fires trying to capture footage. This hit the wing of the super scooper and almost downed the plane. It can't help anymore. In fact, planes and helicopters were forbidden from going for a while because of all these drones in the air risking their lives. Now, yes, the police department did say that if you're flying a drone in the area right now, you risk a $75,000 fine. But dude, the damage was done. This is another logistical disaster. The firefighters were lacking water and now didn't have access to foreign aid for a while. So far, no one's been arrested, but it's not...
Speaking of fires, this LAFD assistant chief, Christine Larson, will leave a man, woman, and even children in a burning home just because of the color of their skin.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or, you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire. Which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Hey, dipshit, you are a firefighter. You are supposed to be saving lives, not criticizing and blaming others. Who cares about the color of other people's skin? And what do you mean by understand their situation a bit better. What the fuck does this have to do with being in a near-death experience? Do you mind to explain that? What a fucking joke. Jesus.
But it's not like it's a priority because people are too distracted by things that don't exist right now. One of the fires that sparked up in Los Angeles was in the Hollywood Hills, something unprecedented. But thankfully it was contained within a day and isn't a threat anymore. This hasn't stopped tens of millions of people to believe that this footage...
Yeah, that's definitely AI. Even the community note put this out. This video is an example of an AI video. The Hollywood, yes, I'm putting my hands with my two fingers up. The Hollywood sign in the video has an extra L in it.
is real. Yes, even though there's 3 L's in the Hollywood sign.
But okay, imagine this. Yes, this can happen.
Many people thought this was real. There were many videos shared of the Hollywood sign burning, either taken from movies, series, YouTube videos, you name it. And people ate it up. Like this TikTok right here with 4.4 million likes and tens of millions of views asking who the hell said there was a fire on the Hollywood sign. Many of the comments being in complete disbelief, asking themselves if they actually fell for AI, and it turns out they did. But whether you were tricked by this video or not, many people thought that these fires had something to do with arson. And it wouldn't be the first time a major fire in Los Angeles was caused by human negligence. A devastating fire at the end of 2017 was caused by power lines sparking. One of the craziest Los Angeles fires that was caused back in 2020 was because of a malfunctioning smoke machine that caught fire during a gender reveal party. It ended up claiming the life of a veteran firefighter. This is making many people believe that it's too much of a coincidence that many of these fires are starting next to residential areas. Like this tweet right here claiming that there's an arsonist in LA. While some residents spotted someone on a bicycle carrying a blowtorch right in their neighborhood 30 minutes after the Kenneth fire had started. They took him down, tied him up.
But seriously, get help. I don't know why you people who are like him need to make the situation worse. Not just for the world, but for yourselves.
And then called the police, who showed up 30 minutes later. He claimed that he was carrying a blowtorch because he used it to light up weed. Yes. The reason why this was significant was because the Los Angeles Police Department had initially said that it believed that the Kenneth fire was started intentionally, unlike the others. But obviously when they said this, they had no proof, and they still don't. They wanted to put this guy in jail no matter what, but didn't have enough evidence to do anything with him. The damage was done though. People are...
So when there's a wildfire going on, do you think that it just happened accidentally? No. People start the fire on purpose.
People are now paranoid over the fact that there are arsonists starting these fires on purpose, inciting more panic and conspiracy theories. Someone else got arrested, a 60-year-old woman, for starting a fire that was thankfully very quickly extinguished.
I'm sorry, a 60-year-old woman start a fire too? I have no words. I'm speechless.
Extinguished by authorities, adding more fuel to the fire. No pun intended, but you get what I mean. But whether it was arson or natural causes, the question remains. How did the senior and top officials allow this to happen by being so badly prepared? Insurance companies saw this coming a mile away last summer in 2024 by canceling the coverage of everyone in the Pacific Palisades. It didn't matter how long you were subscribed to their insurance. They weren't the only insurer to do this, all giving the same reasons that if they stayed there, they faced the risk of bankruptcy. So yeah, it's not just health insurance that's scummy in the US, it's any type of insurance, including home insurance, wildfire insurance, you name it. People are very mad at both the mayor and the governor, with one Palisade resident finding Gavin Newsom and confronting him, asking him, how did you allow this to happen? Why is this happening? And look at his response, it's ridiculous.
I'm talking to the president right now to specifically answer the question of what we can do for you and your daughter.
Can I hear it? Can I hear your call? Because I don't believe it.
I'm sorry. There's literally, I've tried 5 times. That's why I'm walking around to make the call.
Why is the president not taking your call?
Because it's not going through.
Why?
Are you sure about that?
You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
Is this ratchet guy trying to be the next Virgil or something? Instead of investing on hair gel, maybe you should try to prepare for a situation like this. Please.
So let's get it. Let's get it. I want to be here when you call the president.
I appreciate it.
I'm literally on the phone with the president. Let me hear it. Actually, my phone isn't working. This is a resident that maybe voted for him, right? Trusted him to run California and give it what it needs in the face of disaster.
So, on November 8th, 2018, 8 years ago, there was a fire that burnt the town of Paradise, California. After the fire, there was a video where Trump, Gavin, and others showed up. Trump warned Gavin about what could happen in California when wildfires happen, and Gavin ignored Trump's warning. Now that I see this, it's no wonder he is investigating the reservoir at this lousy timing. Gavin should have done this 2 years ago. That goes for the advertisement that he did about doing a shelter for homeless veterans. He also should have done that years ago. I guess he wasn't motivated.
And yet she was completely and utterly failed. At the same time, there's a petition calling for the mayor to resign because she also did not prepare for this. Currently sitting at over...
Like I said, where was she when there's a fire going on? She ran away.
Over 78,000 signatures and going up by the second. I mean, look at all these signatures happening right now as I'm talking. People are very pissed. As I'm recording this,
they're not only pissed, but also frustrated, stressed, because these corrupt politicians and higher-ups didn't take the wildfires seriously. Most people don't realize we can't predict when a natural disaster will occur. Natural disasters can happen out of nowhere. These corrupt politicians and higher-ups are just a bunch of hypocrites, narcissists, and mediocrity who don't care about the well-being of the people. They care about money and status. Shame on them for thinking that natural disasters are something to ignore.
At 2 a.m. European time on January 12th, the Palisades fire is only 11% contained, needing to reach 100 for it to be controlled and then completely extinguished. Eaton fire, same thing, sitting at 15%. Now the firefighters and government officials are hoping that the winds finally regress and allow them to actually contain the fires, but here's the problem. The winds keep getting worse and they're not calming down. Worst case, they keep going until next week, which means that unless more people are mobilized, more water is somehow found, and more measures are taken, this fire will continue spreading. And I want to make sure to say that this is not the fault of the firefighters or the first responders. These people are heroes. The ones who should be held responsible, though, are the senior officials, the people high up in power that have the ability to determine budget cuts, track water reservoirs, make sure fire hydrants are functioning, because it's their fault. And unless something changes with those people, this is going to happen again next year, mark my words. Anyway, please stay safe out there, and thank you so much for watching until the end. I'll see you in the next video whenever that is, and yeah, love you so much. Mwah.
Yeah, Gavin Newsom, or Mr. Ratchet. Bro, I'm literally on the phone with the president right now. Sure you are. Anyway, Kitsunes, I'm out of here. Like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell for more upcoming videos. Until next time.